The Cardigan Welsh Corgi is one of two separate dog breeds known as Welsh Corgis that originated in Wales. The other is the Pembroke Welsh Corgi. It is one of the oldest breeds of the British Isles. Cardigan Welsh Corgis are known to be an extremely loyal dog breed. They are also versatile and can live in a variety of settings. They benefit from regular physical and mental stimulation. The Cardigan Welsh Corgi variety of amazing miniature shepherd dogs is becoming more and more popular for home keeping. This is explained not only by a charming appearance but also by a friendly, docile character. Welsh Corgi Cardigan is a modest native of Wales who since ancient times earned his plate of stew by grazing cattle and has not lost his working qualities to this day. Good-natured and non-conflicting, this artistic handsome man willingly makes contact but at the same time does not suffer from excessive obsession. As befits a real shepherd dog, the Welsh Corgi Cardigan is endlessly loyal to the owner and is very bored if he is forced to lose his company for a while. Moreover, Cardi is an extremely inquisitive and sociable guy who manages to make friends even during a regular walk. Highlights. For convenience, domestic breeders and fans of the breed have greatly reduced its name, calling all Welsh Corgi Cardigans simply Cardigans. The short legs of Welsh Corgi Cardigans do not prevent them from leading an active lifestyle and demonstrating excellent results in agility. Like most shepherd dogs, the Cardigan hardly imagines his life without grazing, so he will be vigilant about the movements of all members of the family in which he lives. Welsh Corgi Cardigans are natural-born comedians and tricksters who, several centuries ago, were especially popular with traveling circus troupes. The Welsh Corgi Cardigan is a versatile breed that can be kept both in an apartment and in a country house. These short-legged charms are not at all demanding on the dimensions of housing and do not make a tragedy from the fact that they were walked a little less than they should. For a long time, Cardigans were not quoted by breeders who preferred to unwind another branch of Welsh Corgi, the Pembrokes. In 2006, the breed was marked critically endangered by canine associations. However, by 2016, the number of animals had increased dramatically, which removed the status of a living curiosity from the Welsh Corgi Cardigans. Correctly brought up Cardi are quite peaceful and do not conflict with cats and other pets for a place in the sun. The history of the Welsh Corgi Cardigan breed. The history of the Welsh Corgi breed is a few hypotheses, a lot of speculation, a couple of legends and almost no reliable fact. For example, some experts believe that the ancestors of today's dogs appeared in the British Isles along with the Scandinavian settlers in the Bronze Age. Others attribute animal husbandry to the Celts who inhabited England around 1500 BC. With a genetic base too, not everything is clear, so someone calls the ancestors of the Welsh Corgi Icelandic dogs, and someone refers them to the descendants of the Swedish Walhund. However, the Welsh would not have been Welsh if they had not given this phenomenon their own purely mystical justification. In the homeland of the breed, it is still believed that the Welsh Corgi gave the inhabitants of Wales fabulous creatures who used animals as horses, riding them and transporting their own belongings with their help. As for the Cardigan Welsh Corgi specifically, this branch was born through the efforts of enthusiasts in the Welsh county of Cardiganshire. It is believed that, in order to breed an unassuming shepherd dog, local farmers crossed the ancestors of the Welsh Corgi with Dachshund dogs, which greatly affected the exterior of the animals. In particular, the body of the shepherd dogs has become longer and their legs are significantly shorter. The appearance of the Pembroke Welsh Corgi breed in the 13th century sharply reduced the popularity of Cardigans, since its representatives not only had the same short legs but also had a more pleasant appearance. In particular, at the end of the 19th century, mostly natives of Pembrokeshire were lit at breeding exhibitions, which greatly annoyed fans of the Ceredigion shepherd dogs. Furthermore, the confrontation between breeders of Cardigans and Pembrokes grew into fights for show places, so in 1934 KC had to divide animals into two independent breeds. In the same year, it was decided to cut off the tails of the Pembrokes, which became an additional differentiating factor between both families of Welsh Corgi. Nevertheless, despite the long-awaited independence and the opportunity to be exhibited separately at exhibitions, the Welsh Corgi Cardigans have long remained an underestimated breed, hiding in the shadow of their more effective and successful relative. And if in other European countries these funny short-legged ones penetrated several decades after the official announcement, in many countries they started talking about only in the early 2000s. Why does the Welsh Corgi Cardigan have such short legs? Initially, the dog's job was to prevent the animal from fighting off the herd, and she could do this only in one way, by lightly biting a cow or calf by the leg. Unsurprisingly, the herbivore responded with a hoof to the forehead. And since the Welsh Corgi Cardigan has always been extremely low fit, the cow invariably misses the mark. The appearance of the Welsh Corgi Cardigan and its differences from the Pembroke. Welsh Corgi Cardigans are agile, long-bodied gentlemen with a soft top line and miniature, sturdy legs. Outwardly, these squat good-looking are noticeably larger and more bony than the Pembroke Welsh Corgi. As an example, the average Pembroke weighs 10 to 12 kilograms, while the body weight of the natives of Ceredigion can reach 14 to 17 kilograms. In general, there are much more differences between these two breeds than it seems at first glance. So, for example, Dachshund genes predominate in Cardi, so they have slightly curved legs, a massive chest and a smoother silhouette line. Welsh Corgi Cardigans are hard-working dogs that were bred not for exhibitions, but for grey working days. It is not surprising that the Pembrokes, who were born a little later and were the product of crossing a Spitz with a Welsh Corgi, are inferior to them in performance and endurance, but they win in terms of external charm. An interesting fact, until recently, the Cardigan could be identified by the lush foxtail, which the Pembrokes have traditionally been shortened. However, after European breeders abandoned docking, it became more difficult to distinguish between animals. However, if you look closely, you will notice that the shepherd dogs from Pembrokeshire have a shorter tail. Long-term crossing of short-tailed individuals with tailless ones made itself felt, and less luxurious head. The Welsh Corgi Cardigans have a very proportional head with a moderately elongated muzzle and a wide, narrowed skull towards the eyes. Teeth and jaws. The jaws of the Welsh Corgi Cardigan are strong, with a scissor or horizontal bite. The first option is preferable. Nose. The lobe is black, not too large, but not tiny either. Eyes. Shepherd's eyes are set wide, with well-defined angles, not round. The shade of the iris is dark. For individuals with marbled coat, blue or bluish spotted eye color is acceptable. Ears. The Cardigan Welsh Corgi has large, erect ears with rounded tips, which are tilted forward in a watchful dog and slightly spread apart in a resting dog. Neck. Decent length, muscular, turning into prominent shoulders. Housing. The body of the Cardi should be long, with a well-defined loin line, without bulging or sagging. Extremities. Despite the fact that the legs of the representatives of this breed give the impression of a toy, they have sufficient strength and provide a good push when running. The paws of the Welsh Corgi Cardigans are large, rounded, with plump pads. The front legs are slightly turned outward, which is especially noticeable when viewed from the front. Tail. The correct tail for a Welsh Corgi Cardigan is a low set, pulled down. In an excited dog, the tail may be slightly raised. The best option is to the level of the croup or slightly higher, while it should not curl up into a donut and be thrown onto its back. Wool. Smooth, tight-fitting fur coats of Welsh Corgi Cardigans are formed by moderately hard hair of medium length and a thick layer of undercoat. The dog's coat should be smooth, but not silky, and certainly not as stiff as wire. A shepherd dog whose coat is too fluffy and soft is considered defective and is called a fluffy. Color. The breed standards are less demanding for the color of the coat of Cardigans than for the color of the Pembrokes. Simply put, this Welsh Corgi is eligible for any color type, including brindle and blue merle. The presence of white marks on the case is not punished by exhibition specialists either. The main thing is that they do not dominate the main shade. The character of the Cardigan Welsh Corgi. Calmness, bordering on light phlegm, good nature, an excellent sense of humor, these are the three main qualities that determine the character of the Welsh Corgi Cardigans. These pretty short-legged ones easily get along with anyone, and they hardly know such a feeling as jealousy. The only thing, unlike the same Pembrokes, Cardi do not really trust strangers and sometimes do not mind barking at them. At the same time, in ordinary life, shepherd dogs, if they are properly brought up, rarely make noise and only for good reasons. Against a backdrop of impulsive Pembrokes, Welsh Corgi Cardigans are restraint itself. They are quite energetic, but not hyperactive, contact, but not intrusive, agreeable, but not to the detriment of self-esteem. The best friends for a dog are the members of the family in which it lives, so the Welsh Corgi Cardigan is always happy to play pranks with the kids, lie next to the owner on the couch watching a TV series, or run with him in the park. In general, Cardi are very dependent on their own owner, but you should not associate this feature with a lack of intellectual abilities. In fact, Welsh Corgi Cardigans are smart and astute creatures. Just for centuries working side by side with a person, they have practically lost a desire for independence. But these sympathizers are not characterized by ambition, and they will never try to put themselves above the owner. Despite the fact that today's Welsh Corgi Cardigans have practically said goodbye to herding, the instincts of their ancestors, no, and will remind of themselves. In particular, modern Cards now guard not cows and sheep, but family members. This is especially evident in relationships with children. A kid who has deviated from the desired trajectory and gone beyond the boundaries existing in the dog's imagination will be lightly nibbled on the legs. From the outside it looks funny, but it's better not to forget that, while you are laughing and filming the great confrontation on video, the Welsh Corgi Cardigan takes it as a reward and will try and bite even more the next time. Education and training. In studies, Welsh Corgi Cardigans show themselves from the most positive side. The main thing is not to overdo it with seriousness and monotony. Due to their moderately lively temperament, Cardi are happy to learn what is presented to them in a relaxed entertaining way and quickly lose interest in commands and actions that imply stupid fulfillment of the master's requirements. Do not forget that the Welsh Corgi Cardigan is a highly specialized shepherd dog, which is not at all intended for service and security activities. Start educating and socializing the puppy from the first minutes of his appearance in your home and not at the age of 6 months, as would-be experts advise from internet forums. The education of a 2-month-old baby is built approximately in the following sequence: familiarity with home toilet and the ability to use it, leash and collar training, education of obedience and setting the boundaries of what is permitted. At 3 months old, the puppy can and should be introduced to the world around him so that he does not get the impression that he is the only 4-legged creature on the planet. To do this, walk more often in places where other animals, cats, dogs, are running, and also arrange meetings with people for your pet. At the same time, clearly explain to the kid that now the toilet for him is not only a tray and a diaper, but also the nearest bushes. At 4 to 5 months, the Welsh Corgi Cardigan is smart enough to learn the minimum set of commands: kneel, sit, lie down. In addition, a 4-month-old puppy should understand that barking for no reason is the height of bad manners, and picking up foreign objects from the ground, even if they smell seductively, is an activity unworthy of a real Welsh shepherd. Important: teaching a Cardigan to circus and acrobatic numbers is not prohibited unless it is jumping. It is strictly contraindicated for representatives of this breed to climb onto horizontal surfaces and dive down from them. They have legs, if you remember. In the process of training half-year-old individuals, take into account the peculiarities of the transitional age. During this period, the Welsh Corgi Cardigan may deliberately disobey you and pretend to be incomprehensible. This breed is not prone to dominance, but a 6-month-old puppy will definitely try to bargain for some indulgences. In addition, he may start to spoil shoes again, although 3 months ago he showed complete indifference to such things. Maintenance and care. Like any shepherd dog, the Cardigan Welsh Corgi will certainly prefer a country house with a lawn to the most comfortable apartment. On the other hand, if you settle a representative of this breed in a modest Coppic piece, he will not be offended at you, provided that you are not too lazy to go with him to the park or pick mushrooms in the nearest grove a couple of times a day. When equipping a corner for a dog in a house or apartment, consider the anatomical features of the breed. For example, a Welsh Corgi Cardigan mattress must be strictly orthopedic and a food bowl equipped with an adjustable stand so that the animal does not have to bend over too much. Walking and physical activity. The Welsh Corgi Cardigan is an energetic and agile dog, but even its internal